What's up, y'all? It's your girl Shay Renee, and tonight we are here to talk about Sisters season 5. I don't think episode 5. I think I screwed that up, but we'll get it right in the description. But let us get into it, shall we?
Can't ball in a life, man. Go on with it, go on with it. Do us. So we are coming with a force. Yeah, blessing the area. Yeah. Work, 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 work. See me, I be work, 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 work. See me do me dirt, 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 dirt. So me for that work, 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 work. When you walk a line, 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 line. In the girl, be murder, da, 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 da. Try me, I deserve. Listen to I be lurking. Yeah. You make a like, now you don't like it. You know I dealt with you the nicest. Nobody touched me in the right. Nobody touched me in a crisis. I believe that all of your dreams are duration. You took my heart, all my keys, and my patience.
What's up, y'all? Hey, Jessica. What's going on? What's going on? We got Jessica with a K in the chat. What's going on, y'all? We before we get into the review, it is episode 10. It is episode 10. But thank everybody that watched the newest segment that I did, and I called it So I Asked My Husband. Okay, so y'all, I'm getting everybody's opinions on it, and I love it, good, bad, or indifferent, about how you feel about the episode. Y'all, my husband don't really like to be on camera, and it was, I guess some people noticed it, but he was actually, he was good. We used to have a little podcast together. And I think this is going to be fun. I think I need to change the format of the questions because he doesn't really watch a lot of the shows. So I think I'm going to change up how we did it the first time for the next time, so it could be a little bit more organized. Okay, so I'm excited for that. We're gonna have a series of that, and it'll be a great way for you guys to get to know other aspects of me. Okay, but moving on, Sisters season 5 episode 10, discretion is key. All right, Sabrina is still in jail. She's sitting there talking to Danny while they're in the room talking to, just kind of trying to get things out. She's like, she's just so in disbelief. She's like, I don't know how this happened to me. Why? She was like, I'm literally in jail. Like, I can't believe this. Why am I here? And what are you guys going to do to help me get out of here? So Danny is like, Andy is doing everything that she can. She figured out how to get back here to talk to you. Maybe she can figure out how to talk to Maurice. And then she's like, you know what? I can't believe Maurice said that I was a part of this. And Danny was like, yeah, apparently he said that you guys robbed the bank together, and that, you guys conspired to do this. And somebody that he was dating told somebody that. So now they're prosecuting you for this. So she's like, I just don't believe Maurice. I can't believe he would do that. He's got to tell somebody that this didn't happen, like that he made it up or it's not true. So Danny was like, yeah, Maurice will probably do that, but also the person that arrested you guys, yeah, I was dating him. Like, that was the guy from the airport, Logan, that I was dating. And she's like, oh my gosh. She's like, well, you got to reach out to him and tell him that I didn't do this. And Danny is like, I tried to do that, but nothing is working. So we got to lean on Andy to try to figure it out. So they're sitting in there just talking and whatnot. And Sabrina, and then Danny reveals, you know, that Calvin was going to put up $20,000 for her bail. And Sabrina was actually shocked. Then Danny was like, do you want us to call your mom? And Sabrina was like, no, she's got heart problems. She has diabetes. She doesn't need to hear about this. Now, it's interesting that they keep on bringing up Sabrina's mother. Like, I feel like now Tyler Perry about to introduce another daggone character, which is Sabrina's mother. Everybody is talking about, don't call my mama, don't do this, don't do that. But Sabrina's mother was never involved in the beginning. Andy's mom hasn't been on here. The only mom that we've seen is Karen's mother. That's it. We haven't seen Fatima's mama. We ain't seen Sabrina's mama. We ain't seen Danny's mama either. Okay. So now I guess we're going to eventually see something with Sabrina's mother because they keep bringing her up for some reason. So it makes me feel like they're going to introduce a new character as far as Sabrina. So Sabrina's adamant about not letting her mother know what's going on because she don't want her stressed out. So moving on, as they're talking, Sabrina, Andy comes rushing in saying, we gotta go, Danny, we gotta go right now. Like, we gotta go right now. And I'm like, girl, why are you in such a rush? Like, okay, get on out of there then if that's what you gotta do now. You hear? So moving on, in the next scene, Karen is eating dinner with Aaron, and she praising the food, child, talking about, oh my God, this is the best dinner you ever cooked. You know, you used to order stuff all the time, but this the best meal you ever cooked. Child, y'all was eating spaghetti. Like, I love me some spaghetti. Okay, I do. But I ain't never heard nobody say, you put your foot in that spaghetti. Spaghetti, like, you can't screw up spaghetti. Like, okay. But anyway, they were having a whole conversation about it. Okay. Jessica with a K says, I don't think your questions were off putting. Maybe prep him for what's on the docket. But I think he has a dry sense of humor, which can take time to understand. But don't take people's comments to heart. Thank you so much, Jessica. Like, this is why we are here, because you got that right off the bat. He does have a dry sense of humor. Like, him and I are very sarcastic. Like, most couples, when they first, y'all, we talking about the So I Asked My Husband segment if you watching this and you jump in, but I'm gonna address this real quick. So we have a very, like, dry, both of us have like a dry sense of humor, like him more so than me. I can kind of like switch it up or whatever. But yeah, we always, when people first meet us, they think that we're literally arguing when we're going back and forth or whatever. But then once they see us and they're like, oh, this is really how they act. And then they think we're funny. Like, we end up being the funny couple. And then we get invited everywhere. We're like, oh my God, you know, Brian and Lachey, they're so funny. Like, bring them. They're the life of the party. I knew that was going to happen. Initially, people were going to look at it and be like, oh, I don't get it, you know. And then kind of the way I kind of rushed the process, like, I think the first episode watching it was going to help me to figure out how to lay the groundwork for the next episode. Like, I'd already changed the name within that, watching that episode, because we were going to name it Always Right from Front to Back, because that was the name of our old podcast. But then we realized, no, it's got to be different. This is a totally different thing. We're going with a different vibe here. But anyway, thank you so much for your comment. I really appreciate that, because that's what I was hoping people would get. You know what I mean? But you know, hopefully over time people will understand more. But y'all, thank you so much, Jessica, for, you know, addressing that. And thank y'all for letting me talk about that for like 2 minutes. Okay, we're gonna get back to sisters. All right. So moving on. Karen, like I said, Karen is eating this spaghetti with Aaron like it's the best spaghetti she ever had in her damn life, child. And I'm like, okay, I don't know who can mess with spaghetti. But moving on, Aaron asked if she found anything in his phone, because she was diligently going through Sir's phone, like looking, digging for gold, hoping that she was going to find something that was going to miraculously make him a bad guy. And she was like, no, I didn't find anything in your phone, actually. And so then, you know, she says, well, listen, you know, I apologize. I think I was looking for something, and I just think that it's crazy that I keep on trying to look for all of these things. Like, why are you like this? Like, how are you such a, like, basically, why are you such a good person? And he says, you know, no apologies are needed. You know, she's like, but I really feel bad for doubting you. And he's like, you know, listen, I love you. So whatever it is, it's just going to take time. And I'm always going to be here for you no matter what. And she's like, I just can't believe that you're so patient all the time. And she's like, it just kind of makes me mad sometimes, but then I get mad at myself for being mad at you that you're like this. And I'm like, Karen, like, it's like you just really want to find something wrong with him. And I just don't get it. It's like, as women, when we find somebody that's really good for us, and then we looking at them like they crazy, like, something wrong with you. Let me poke the bear and see what I can get out of you to see how I can piss you off. And I'm like, that's not the way to think about stuff. Like, take it for what it is. Take the man for who he is until he shows you something different. Okay. So moving on, Karen says, he says, well, what did I do to ever make you mad or whatever? She said, well, hello, the hospital thing, how you came up to the hospital and you asked the doctor, you knew that I was up there from the doctor. I'm like, Karen, okay, let it go. Let it go. He used his, you know, acquaintances to figure out that you were at the hospital already. Okay, big freaking whoop. All right, let it go, girl. Let it burn like Usher. All right. So he's like, okay, yeah, I get that. So then he says, well, anyway, I love you no matter what. I'm always going to be here for you. So then Karen says, the girls are coming over. So, if you want to leave, you can go ahead and do that. And he's like, oh, okay, well, maybe I'll go play ball with my friends or whatever later on. And then I'll come back after the girls leave. Then Karen was like, pressed, talking about something. Oh, you're going to go play basketball? Does Zach still come and play basketball with you? I'm like, why do you care what Zach is doing? You don't need to know anything that Zach is doing until you find out if this is his baby. If this is his baby, you still don't really need to know what Zach is doing. You don't really need to talk to Zach until the baby comes out your body. Like, I don't understand why you care what Zach is doing. That really annoyed the heck out of me when she asked him that. And then for him to be just so cute, cool as a cucumber over her asking about Zach, he was like, yeah, well, Zach comes, but he really doesn't. We don't ever play together. Like, we're never like on the same team or whatever. We're basically just in the same space. We're not really interacting. And she's like, oh, okay. And then he says, well, I'm going to go ahead and clean up these dishes or whatever before the girls get here. So Karen then reveals that she actually has an appointment with the doctor to find out the date of conception. So then that will in fact reveal who the actual father of her child is. So Aaron gets excited and says, oh, so you're going to go to the doctor and find out that's my baby? And I'm like, Aaron, you a little too sure of yourself. Did that doctor tell you what was on the sonogram? I feel like Aaron already know that's his baby. That's what I think. And I think that Karen is going to end up lying. But then again, I don't know, because later on in the episode, she does ask Andy and Danny to go with her. So it won't be a way for her to lie, so to speak. So I don't know. We'll see what's going to happen next week. And hopefully Tyler Perry don't drag this the hell out, because he already done dragged it out last season and damn 10 episodes into this season. And we still ain't seen a baby bump, no figure out who the hell the damn baby daddy is. So if he don't tell us next week, I might have to stop reviewing this damn show, because I'm getting about damn sick and tired of it. Okay, but moving on. That was just my quick little rant for the evening. Okay, moving on. So Aaron says, Karen says, you know what if this isn't your baby? Like, what are you going to do? And he said, like, I've been telling you, I'm going to be here for you. Like, I love you. Like, I'm like, how many times does this man have to tell you he going to be there, whether this baby is his or not? Like, he's basically telling you, I'm a dummy. I'm going to be here no matter what you say or do to me, no matter how mean you are to me. I'm going to be here and take and roll with the punches. Okay. He's like, listen, I've done it before. I'll do it again with you. Because basically he's talking about his ex-wife that offed herself in front of Karen. She had children, and he no longer has those children because the family has custody of the children now that the wife is deceased. But, he's saying he treated those kids like they were his kids. So he loves her enough to treat this kid like it's his kid. And I'm like, but why? Y'all don't have no history. Y'all not married. Like, you don't have to be attached to Karen. So why would you want to help her raise her kid? I don't know what's up with I don't know. Now I'm getting a little skeptical, because Aaron, he a little tiny bit too good to be true. But we're going to see what's going on. Okay. So moving on, Aaron says, yeah, well, you better answer your phone. And she's like, why? He was like, yeah, your mom's about to call you. So the mother called, and then she ended up talking to her mama, and that's that. Okay. So moving on, Andy and Danny are in the car. And Andy reveals that the prosecutor that came in all upset, he was basically upset because And he's going to really give it to Sabrina. And he's not going to let Sabrina get out of jail. He's going to do whatever he can to keep her there because he's pissed off at Andy because he lost his divorce situation because Andy was the lawyer and he has to pay his wife all this money. So he's basically hating and pissed off at Andy because she did her job. Okay. So then Danny says, well, what are you going to do? Like, how are we going to get her out of jail at this point? And my thing is, y'all keep on saying, we got it. We're going to get it done. But you don't have no solutions. Andy keeps on saying, let's not worry about it. I'm going to make some calls. Who are you going to call, sis? I don't know who you calling, because whoever you calling, they must not be answering because Sabrina is still in jail. And for something that she didn't do. You haven't heard this recording yet. And anybody that hears this recording will know that it's BS. Like, this girl should not be in jail right now over this BS. I don't get it. But moving on. So Andy is like, listen, I'm going to try to talk to him. Robin is not helping me out. I don't know what to do. He's giving me the cold shoulder. What are we supposed to do? So then Danny says, well, Sabrina is in jail. You need to try to figure it out with Robin. If you need to F him, suck him off, something, you need to figure it out. And Andy looks at her like, I'm offended. Why would you say that to me? Andy, stop it. You and your power posing suits, you are full of crap. That's what you are. And I'm gonna tell you about yourself in that scene where it's you, Karen, and Danny. I'm gonna tell you about yourself when you talking to Robin. I got some few choice words for you for that. So I'm gonna wait till we get there. But Andy, you are really too cool for school. You think you that girl, but you're actually not. Your clothing speaks louder than your personality. It really does. Because you are an airhead. For real. Like, you don't know what you're doing. And you're so oblivious. You try to give off all this sex appeal. But then when someone actually acknowledges it and calls it out for what it is, because you're doing all of this trying to look sexy and all this stuff, trying to entice people and whatnot. And then when it's noticed, because that's what you do. You sexed up Robin. You did. Let's not lie about it. So when your friends point out the obvious of you sexing him up and now use it to our benefit, actually do it for something that's going to help somebody other than yourself, now you offended. Girl, stop. Please stop. No Lane Bryant suit that you wearing is going to make me believe that you really care about your friend being in jail, because all this time, all you've been doing is thinking about your daggone self. And that's that on that. I don't trust Andy far as I can throw her, okay? If it ain't about a man and who she about to screw and do, she don't care about what you got going on, sis. She don't. This supposed to be the sister circle and we love each other. Yeah. No, you don't. Andy is selfish. Now, I think she does love her friends, but she ain't going hard for Sabrina the way that she should. In my opinion, I really don't think she is. So anyway, Danny was like, oh, well, I don't know what we're going to do. Let's stop off and let's stop off somewhere. And Andy is like, where? Like, yeah, we should. Let's stop off somewhere. And Danny is like, yeah, let's find the weed man. I'm like, oh my gosh, here go Danny being immature. So she settles for the gummies that's in her purse because Andy is just too good to be stopping off at a weed man in a Bentley. Okay. So moving on, Zach comes in the house from looking at houses with Bryce, and which we haven't seen Bryce at all this season because, he got two characters. He's somebody else on Sisters. Like, he Asian on Sisters. And then he's Asian on Zatima, but on Sisters, he a regular black man. He Jake from State Farm. So maybe Jake and Bryce are two different people. Because it was Jake on Sisters, and Jake was helping Zach the same way Bryce was with the whole person that was checking into his stock and all that. I can't remember the name of the person, but yeah, I'm confused. I haven't seen Jake and we ain't seen Bryce, but anyway, he was looking at houses with Bryce. Child, moving on, he comes in the house and Fatima's sitting there with her power posing red suit on, honey, and it ain't no TV on the wall, so I don't know what she was looking at. But she comes in and obviously she wants to have a conversation with him because she just saw Heather at the law firm. So Zach comes in. He's like, I don't want to talk about Karen. What's going on? She's like, well, it ain't about Karen, but it is about your other baby mama. She basically tells him, listen, I know that we're engaged and all this stuff, but you got a lot going on. You got the baby mama situation. We don't even know who the daddy of Karen's kid is yet, but you could possibly be the father. Then you are the father of Heather's kid, and make it so bad, Hayden is representing her. And I'm like, Fatima, I'm gonna need you to wake up and smell the roses, sis, because you too smart for this. How in the world did Heather already know that y'all knew the results? Because remember, on the last, if y'all watched Fatima on BET Plus, okay, Fatima went and got the results from her law firm, okay? So how did Heather know that Fatima got the sample and got it done? How would she know that? Unless Fatima told her, because Fatima hadn't said anything to anybody but Zach. So Hayden had to have seen that, oh, why is Fatima getting results put in? Why is she getting DNA test results? So I could see him somehow botching this whole situation. That baby is probably somebody from Chainbreakers, because Hayden said that somebody from Chainbreakers asked for his help with the whole situation with Heather. So how did Heather know somebody from Chainbreakers? This is the same Chainbreakers where they helped Hayden to plant drugs in Zach's car so that he can miraculously get pulled over and locked up. So what makes me think that there's not somebody there helping Hayden with this whole scheme and plot to get Zach? And this baby don't belong to Zach at all. That's Heather's baby. Child, this is a whole cluster. But anyway, Fatima basically reveals, listen, I know we engaged, but I ain't about to be in no rush to be marrying you, because you about to have to be paying child support out the wazoo. And yeah, when we married, my money is your money, and I'm gonna have to be paying that child support too. So I know you rich right now, but you ain't gonna be rich forever doing like having to pay this. And I talked to a lawyer, and yeah, she said that they about to get a good little chunk of change from you. So I'm gonna go ahead and head out of a marriage. We could be engaged, for a long time if that's what you want to do. But we're not about to get married at all, sir. Then he want to bring up her student loan. She was like, not too much. I am actually about to pay off my student loans. Okay? So don't try to play me with the whole student loans thing. Okay? And Zach says, man, you are so good to me. Like, what did I do to deserve you? Like, I can't even take you out of the country because I'm an ex-con. We can't really do a whole lot. I got this baby mama drama, but you still stick beside me with all this stuff. And Fatima is like, don't get it twisted. I'm not cool with the whole baby mama situation, but basically she knows his heart, and she was like, listen, we ride or die. I got you. I'm always gonna be here for you, or whatever the case may be. But I'm not going to pay your child support, so we're not going to get married right now. Okay? So then Zach is like, you smell something? She like, what's going on? He was like, yeah, I don't smell no dinner cooking. And she was like, yeah, because you supposed to take me out to dinner. I feel like this is one of those times where they were ad-libbing and he forgot that they were supposed to go out to eat. So then she decides, you know what? We'll stay here. I'll cook dinner for you. So moving on. Danny and Andy arrive at Karen's, and Aaron is there. And he's like, all right, guys, you have a great time. I'm going to go ahead and head on out now that y'all are here. And Danny was like, great. So no one's here to judge us, because we're going to be in here smoking and talking and drinking and whatnot and having a good old time. And now you ain't here to judge us. And Aaron was like, I'm not going to judge nobody but you're not about to be up in here doing the smoking, because that's not good for the baby. And Danny was like, right, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and take one of these gummies. I'm like, Danny, okay, whatever. Danny is so immature. I don't know what to make of her. But moving on. So they all sit down, and Karen asks, where's Sabrina? And Andy tries to deflect. And Danny was like, listen, we're not gonna play this little game. Sabrina's in jail, girl. She in jail. Clink, clink. Okay. And Karen is like, what the hell? How is she in jail? So then they tell the story of what happened with the whole Maurice and the recording and the guy that Maurice was dating and how he done dimed him out and all that jazz and whatnot. So they fill her in on the story. And Karen is like, I can't believe this. Like, Sabrina is not made for jail. And then she's like, well, have you called your boss, Andy? Like, did you call Robin? Like, I'm like, all of y'all are expecting her to call Robin to help out. And he's always coming to her aid. But Andy is shitting on him right now. Like, Gary does, we're going to get into that, y'all. But Gary does everything under the sun to Andy. And she can forgive him over and over again, but she can't forgive Robin for one little pitfall that he made. I don't get it. So they're like down Andy's throat, like, you need to figure this out. Like, make a phone call. Why haven't you talked to Robin? Like, why is he not trying to help you? She was like, well, he was very disrespectful to me. So I haven't been talking to him. And he's not willing, acting like he's not willing to help me with this. So in the midst of them talking, Robin calls. Okay. So Robin calls and Andy ends up talking to him. They're like, it's Robin. Girl, if you don't take that, she was like, I'm not answering his phone calls. Then she's like, yeah, girl, if you don't go out there and take this phone call, we about to ring your dag on that. Go talk to him. So Andy answers the phone and Robin is like, I'm calling about work. And then she's like, okay, what? And he was like, okay, I'm lying. I'm not calling about work. Like, I said I was sorry. Please talk to me. And she's like, no, I don't have anything to say to you. And then he's like, I think I can help with your friend. And she's like, oh, really? Okay, cool. What can you do? He was like, I can make a couple phone calls. She was like, I've already done that. The prosecutor is not going to let up. I beat him in a case with his divorce, so he got a hard on for me. So it's not going to happen. He was like, I don't talk to prosecutors. I talk to their bosses. And she's like, oh, okay, cool. Well, since you got the big balls, go ahead. I appreciate the help. Thank you kindly. And then he's like, you're still not budging. Like I said, I'm sorry. And she was like, and I'm not, because you were absolutely rude to me. And I'm not checking for you. And so he's like, after I apologize and I'm going to help you with your friend, you still not budging? She was like, nope. And he said, okay, well, maybe I should just stop trying. She was like, just get my friend out of jail. Do that. He was like, is that a step forward? And she's like, just get her out. Thank you. And I got to go. My other line is ringing. So she got an attitude with Robin face. Then Gary, old raggedy, dusty behind, called her. And he's like, I just can't wait. I got to come see you again. Like, I can't. My penis throbbing. I got to put it in you. Like, that's all it is. I'm like, he like a child trying to come and get some. And she was like, okay, I'll tell them to let you up. Make sure you're there naked waiting for me. I'm like, unfreaking believable. Now, Andy, you can take all the crap in the world from Gary. Gary can squeeze your ribs, have his ex-wife in your house about ready to got a gun in your face while you trying to sleep. Got him, he in your room, in your bed, simulating him having sex with other women to try to get over the fact that you slept with somebody when y'all weren't even together. Okay. You, first of all, and you, in the beginning, you're messing with a married man that has children. He at the gym, but he at your house. You can he takes you out in the middle of nowhere, tries to get you to quit your job that you love so much, take you out in the middle of nowhere and tell you this where we going to start our life. I'm divorced now, but we going to get married and we going to live in this house. Then the SWAT team come and get him for God knows what that you still don't know why he got locked up for, and you getting in trouble for it. They leave you out there in the middle of nowhere in your heels to walk your tail all the way back home and strip you of everything, seize your funds, your money, all that. Gary has done all these things to you, but you can't forgive Robin. But all Robin has done since y'all have been talking is save you. He is Captain Save-A-Ho for you. He done got Zach and Fatima out of jail. He done handled Hayden, told you about Hayden and the whole situation with him spying on Zach at the airport. Like, he done helped you out. And now he about to try to help you out with Sabrina and Maurice. but you can't forgive him for making a slight faux pas. What has Gary done for you? Gary bought you this car and this apartment, and he's trying to sue you to get it back. Robin offering you private jets to get on to go wherever you want to go. I don't get it. It's like women, some women are like gluttons for punishment. You just want somebody, you rather have a piece of a man than to wait and get a whole one. It's crazy to me. I don't understand Andy. She thinks that she's just some boss chick, but she really is an educated bimbo. She really is. And I don't like how the way her character is coming out. So moving on, she comes back in the house and then finds out that Danny then gave Karen the whole lowdown on everything that's been going on with Andy, talking about she's screwing Gary. Danny said, yeah, she's screwing Gary again. And because she's just playing him because she's trying to land some big client. And Karen was like, girl, I don't believe that. She is screwing him because she wants to. Okay, please don't believe that. This girl is lying. She want to be with Gary. That's what she wants to do. So then she ends up, Andy says, oh, okay, well, since you want to tell my business, okay. Then she tells Karen about the whole situation with Jonah, him spitting on Karen and on Danny and all that stuff, and the domestic situation that they had going on, and how she thought she almost killed the man. So Karen is like, I can't be gone. Y'all out here acting crazy and running amok. Like, what is going on with the two of y'all, with all three of y'all? Like, this is crazy. So they're like, yeah, I don't know. And so they were like, Fatima was like, well, my girl Fatima said, Danny was like, yeah, well, my girl Fatima said it's self-defense. So I could have got away with it. But this one over here ain't even really trying to help me out. So Karen was like, your girl Fatima? What? And Andy looking at Danny like, why the heck did you say that? Because this girl don't fool with Fatima. Now she gonna be pissed that we actually like her. And Danny was like, you know what? I don't care about your all that crap, Karen. Let me tell you something. If she hadn't never messed with Zach, she would easily be a part of the sister circle, just like that. So don't you playing yourself. And Andy was like, yeah, she has a point there. She definitely would be. So Karen wants everybody to hate Fatima because she don't like her. And they ain't going for it. So Andy was like, well, you know what? Why don't we all just go to our prospective homes and do what we need to do? And Danny was like, yeah, because Preston probably at my house waiting on me anyway. So we're going to go ahead and head on out. So Danny and Andy leave, okay? Let's get into these comments because I'm over here running and jibber jabbering, okay? Angie, I love this name. Angie Marceau, aka Legs, Hips, and Breasts. I think I was laughing at this the other day. Good evening, Shay Renee. What's up, Angie? What's going on? Thank you so much for joining me. And she says, good evening to Jessica with a K. I love when y'all be talking to each other. Jessica would say, Kay says, Angie, I'm good. I'm always happy when Shay does a late night live. Otherwise, I'm up by myself. Yeah, I be loving when y'all actually get on here because I don't even know if y'all watch these shows or not, but it's just good to like interact and have y'all here with me. So I don't feel like I'm by my daggone self, but I appreciate y'all. Angie says, yes, me too. I'm in LA, California, so it's not late for me. I love it. Oh, awesome. So you're in LA right now. So what time? I think y'all are like 4 hours. Yeah, so this is definitely decent hours for you. It's 12:51 here. And thankfully, I'm on vacation, so I don't have to get up and go to work tomorrow. So that's why we're hanging out, okay? So moving on, Aaron and Gary are at the basketball court, and Hayden and Gary is leaving because he's going to Andy's house. So Gary is like, Aaron is like, well, where you going? What's his name? Like making a joke, and Gary was like, ha ha, very funny. He was like, well, I'm getting out of here, so you guys have a good old time. So Zach walks up, and Gary's like, what's up, Zach? And Zach is like, I know you lying. Don't talk to me at all. I do not fool with you, okay? So then, and then as Zach is standing there, Aaron comes over and tries to talk to Zach. He's like, listen, Zach, I don't want to have any beef with you. I just want us to be on the same page as far as, what's going on with this baby, because it could potentially be yours. And I just want us to be cool. And Zach is like, I don't even want to talk to you. Matter of fact, I don't want to be cool with you. And Aaron's like, why? Like, we need to talk. Like, we don't have to be friends. We don't have to be on the same basketball teams. I just feel like we just need to get along, like, because this could potentially be your kid and I'm not going anywhere. And so Zach is like, why are you even speaking to me? Like, I like to be hostile. I don't want to talk to you. And I'm like, Zach, why are you saying you like being hostile? So to make matters worse, here go Hayden walking over. So Hayden comes strolling over, talking about, yeah, I'll be on somebody's team. I want to play basketball too. I heard this was the place to be. And then he goes into like, yeah, because I'm getting ready to take you for bad, basically, Zach, because Heather said your son is, he needs his money or whatever. So Zach is like, you know what, Hayden, you want me to beat your ass, don't you? Like, don't you remember? Hey, come and get him off me. Get him off me. And Hayden's like, yeah, okay, whatever. You are going to jail, and I can't wait to see it. And Zach is like, no, you want me to go to jail for whooping your tail, and I'm not. So I'm gonna go ahead and head on out. I'm gonna go ahead and get my stuff because I ain't got time to be playing around with you. So Hayden continues to try to antagonize Zach. So Aaron comes over and breaks it up. Aaron is like, man, what's your problem? Like, what's wrong with you? So Hayden's like, I don't got time for this. So he was like, yeah, Zach, I got you. I got you right where I want you. Like, basically, like, he's gonna get Zach with this whole situation with Heather and use her to get him. And my thing is, the whole Hayden character, I don't get it, because even if you get Zach in jail or you do all this stuff to him, Fatima still doesn't want to be with you, sir. So you're wasting your time. Like, you're just crazy at this point. So moving on, Aaron and Zach continue to talk. Aaron is like, listen, Zach, seriously, I really want us to be cool. Like, we don't have to hate each other. And Zach reveals, you know what? I want to hate you so bad, but every time I see you, I like you even more. And then I'm mad at myself for starting to like you because you're such a positive person. It's hard to be mean to you. But I want to do it so bad. He's like, you know what? Let me get out of here because y'all are driving me crazy. So Zach ends up leaving. So in the next scene, Andy comes back in. This is when Andy came back in, and I already told y'all all about that. They split that up into two different scenes. So Andy drops in the last scene. Andy drops Danny off, and she talks with Preston. Okay. So Preston gets out of the car and he asks her where her car is. And Danny was like, I just wanted her to drive. I'm like, okay, but your car is still not in the parking lot, sis. Even if she came and picked your ass up and she drove, your car should still be in the parking lot. So, okay, whatever. You like it, I love it. So your car is gone. It's basically totaled because you totaled it by running into Jonah's car the way you did, like a maniac. So moving on, they get to talking, and she's like, well, did you propose to old girl? And he was like, no, I didn't. She was like, have you seen? He was like, I have seen her though. And so Danny was like, feeling all, reassured of herself. And so he's like, listen, what do you want? Like, how do I figure out how to love you better? Like, I need you not just how to love a woman. I want you to tell me how to love Danny. Like, what makes you happy? How can I make you happy? And Danny starts being sarcastic and saying, here we go again. We're right back at square one. Like, trying to make it seem like it's his fault. But then she finally grew up a little bit and said, you know what, Preston? I don't know what I want. To be honest, I really don't even know what I want. And that's what it is. She doesn't know what she wants. Danny is still trying to figure her life out. She's very immature. She's like, one minute I want to be with you. The next minute I don't want to be with you. One minute I want to be in a relationship, period. And then the next minute I want to be by myself. Then I want to have a hot girl summer. And he's like, I was with you until you got to hot girl summer. I'm going to have to go ahead and look at the Urban Dictionary to figure that out. I'm like, cowboy, please, whatever. So he's like, but why do you feel like we have to figure it out right now? Like, we don't have to figure out what we are right now. Like, let's just go with it. Like, keep getting to know each other and, see how everything goes. Like, we don't have to like rush into anything. And Danny was like, okay, I never thought of it that way. So then he was like, okay, and don't tell me how I feel. Like, that's one thing I don't like. I don't like when you try to tell me how I feel, tell me what I'm thinking. Just ask me. Let me tell you what I think and then take it for what it is. And she's like, well, I just don't want to hurt you. He's like, listen, you for one know I'm a big boy in several ways. I'm like, oh my God. All right. All right, sir. And he's like, I'm a big boy. I can do what I want. Like if I'm upset or I don't like how a situation is going, just know I will tell you. You're not going to hurt my feelings. So I appreciated them. I appreciate them finally having a grown up conversation. So he's like, so now please, can we go in the house? And she's like, okay, fine, we can go inside, but we ain't doing nothing. And he was like, okay, I'm good with that. I ain't tripping. So they end up going into her apartment. So in the last scene, Andy gets to her penthouse because she done told Gary to be up in there, Butterball in his birthday suit, waiting on her so she can ride him into the sunset. And so she walks in and he's sitting there and she's like, did you do what I said? And then he was like, well, first, how did he say it? I wrote it down. She said, did you do what I said? And meaning, being naked or whatever. And then Gary says, well, about that. And then he looks over and there's Robin sitting there on the couch. Okay. So I don't know what this whole sit down with Robin being there is. Why did who let Robin into her apartment? Did Gary let him up? What are you trying to get out of this? I don't understand it all, but I guess we'll see next week. So let's see what y'all are in here talking about. Let's see. I love it. 950. I love 951 here. Yes, Angie, it's 951 in Cali. Okay. Jessica with the K says, this is one of the shows I don't usually get to watch. I'm just here to be here and support. Well, I appreciate you because I love when you are in the chat, sis. Okay. Angie says, Jessica with a K, I watch Sisters and I love to support content creators. Oh, thank you so much. Like, I'm going to tell y'all, we really appreciate any and all support that any of you give us. Commenting, watching the video, sharing it with somebody. It's a lot of work doing this stuff. Like I remember when I first started and I thought that this was like, oh, this is easy. I'm gonna watch shows and I'm just gonna get on here and talk about it. No. It's a lot of preparation in the back. Like it's no longer I'm watching the show and then I get to go talk about it. No, you gotta watch the show for yourself, for your own entertainment. Then you gotta watch it again and take notes and fast forward, rewind, make sure you understand stuff so that you can explain it. And you don't want to make it longer than what the actual episode is either. But sometimes it ends up being that way because we're having an interactive conversation, which we appreciate. Okay. And then I think that other people can appreciate the back and forth when they go back to watch the videos because maybe somebody is asking a question or saying something that they felt too. So I just love this community of people that I've found that, can watch these shows. If you guys watched my interview with Scotty by Nature, when I did Young, Fresh, and New, I talked about how like a lot of my friends don't really watch reality TV shows. So I can't call them and be like, hey girl, did you see Potomac or did you see Love and Marriage Huntsville? Or girl, you watched the last episode of Sisters. They be like, girl, I'm at work. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I ain't got time to be doing that. So I love to have you guys as a community. We're all in the same thing, have the same interests to be able to come on here and, it doesn't feel like work to me so watching the shows over and over again and coming on here and talking about it, creating the graphics, doing this whole setup to get all this stuff prepped and ready to do this with you guys. It doesn't feel like work. It's fun. So I appreciate each and every one of you that watch the shows. And like we always do, please, please, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with anybody else that's watching this show too. And I will see you in the next video. Peace out.